Frank Sanchez and Richard Torrez are finally slated to meet one another this Saturday, and it's going to be a banger of a matchup. You see, these two heavyweights have found difficulty finding opponents to face them under the circumstances of which they are waging their campaign in the division. For Sanchez, he's been trying to position himself for a title shot. For Torrez, he's looking for legitimacy. Let's talk about these two fighters, what they'll bring against one another, the fact that they were slated to fight earlier this year and there was a postponement, but now it's on. Let's talk about it. When Frank Sanchez steps into the ring against Richard Torrez Jr. this Saturday, May 23rd, it'll be finally the fight that was slated for earlier in the year, March 23rd, actually, 24th. Well, now they're finally going to face one another, and this is going to be a quality matchup for both men. And when we talk about quality in the heavyweight division, remember, we're still looking for new stars to replace the old guard that is aging out and in some instances fading out due to performances. In the case of Frank Sanchez, the Cuban fighter, who they list his age as 33, we'll just say okay to that for right now. But his record is 25 wins, 1 loss, and 18 KOs. That one loss was a stoppage loss that goes back to May of 2024 against Dazn Ppv. He was down twice in the 7th round of that fight, but allegedly he had entered that fight with some sort of a knee issue. Now, remember, they list him as 33. I believe that Sanchez is a bit older than that. Now, for the knee injury, it was probably one of the reasons why his fight against Torrez Jr., slated for earlier this year, was postponed. They said that he had some type of an injury, and now he supposedly, allegedly, is good to go. And that's music to the ears of Torrez Jr., because he's coming into this fight with his record of 14 wins, no losses, 12 KOs. The former Olympian has been looking for a breakout opportunity, and this very well may be it. He's 6'2" with a 76-inch reach, whereas Sanchez is 6'4" with a 78-inch reach. Now, will this fight be intriguing? I believe it will. First of all, Sanchez is going to be fighting for his career. Torrez is fighting for respect. Now, this fight is going to take place at the Pyramids of Giza in Giza, Egypt. That's right, in Egypt. They're erecting a special ring for this contest and the main event, which will be Alexander Usyk taking on Rico Van Herden. And let me tell you something about this particular card. Eyes will be on it because it's fighting in a different place for the first time. It'll be a historical showdown. And the fighters are going to bring the best of what they have. And when you see these men fighting in front of those pyramids in Egypt, it is going to be not only some sort of a canvas, a picture that'll be forever etched in the minds of not only the participants, those who will be in attendance, and those who are able to watch on television. This is going to be something worth tuning into. But when we talk about what Torrez is looking for, that respectability, you see, because many people have dismissed him, but he has been a fighter who has come along slowly, but he's had the type of opposition that has elevated him. Now, his last victory was a win in November of 2025 over Thomas Salek. But prior to that, he had a very good outing in a unanimous decision win over Guido Vianello. Now, Vianello is a fighter who can give anyone a tough go. The Gladiator, as the Italian is known, was supposed to be a stiff test for the likes of Torrez. Not only did he pass that test with flying colors, it was in that instance after that victory that things kind of slowed down because people were not so anxious to jump into the ring with Torrez. When we think back about his last victory in February of this year, Sanchez defeated Raymond Echeverria, and he was able to stop Echeverria with a solid performance, and he got him out of there. It was in the third round. But that fight, many people didn't see it because it was in Tijuana, Mexico. But I do believe Sanchez is going to do his best when he comes in against Torrez. But will Torrez be able to cut the ring off on Sanchez, slow him down? Will his southpaw position give Sanchez difficulty? You know, the Cuban Fight School suggests that they are excellent boxers. And Sanchez can box, but will he be able to keep the pace? I can see Torrez really setting a fast pace for this fight. And as long as he doesn't get caught by something he doesn't see, by Sanchez, he should be able to outwork Sanchez. But therein lies the intrigue, because somewhere along the way in this fight, a fight should break out. And then someone's going to have their mettle tested. Fighting on such a great event, this is going to be presented by Ed Hearn and Matchroom Boxing, along with Spencer Brown and Gold Star Promotions. The main event of Alexander Usyk and Rico Verhoeven is supposed to set things right, but there are some quality fights on the undercard, such as Jack Catterall taking on Shakram Giyasov, and we also have the return to the ring of Hamza Shiraz, fresh off of his defeat over Edgar Berlanga, fighting Alan Burgett for the WBO super middleweight title, which is vacant. Also, we'll have super flyweight undisputed champion WBO Mizuki Hirota taking on Mai Solomon. These are quality fights, and fighters could be headlining their own event. So this Dazn pay-per-view card is supposed to be something worth eyeing. And I'm telling you, as the two guys, Sanchez and Torrez, come in to meet for this bout, I'm expecting some quality fighting going on between the two. I've been waiting to see Richard Torrez get tested so we can find out, is he a true representation in the heavyweight division for the Americas? We'll find out this Saturday. But what do you think? This is Stormy B-Man. Shout out to the mighty LDBC and Liberated Perspective, a third eye view of the world. For more content such as this, please like, comment, subscribe, and share. Let me know who you got between Sanchez and Torrez. And do you think it's going to live up to some of that action that we saw between Wardley and Dubois just a few weeks ago? Leave comments and let's discuss further. Peace to everyone out there, and everyone please remain safe.